Story title: The Lighthouse Keeper's Faith. Story. English, approximately 1,200 words. On a lonely cliff by the roaring sea stood an old lighthouse. Its keeper, Elias, had lived there for more than 40 years. Every evening he climbed the spiral stairs and lit the great lamp that guided ships safely through the storms. The villagers often wondered why he still did it. The new harbor had modern navigation systems. Ships no longer depended on his light, but Elias never stopped. "Why keep lighting it when no one needs it anymore?" a fisherman asked one night. Elias smiled. "Because someday someone might." Years ago, when Elias was young, he had been a sailor himself. One terrible winter night, his ship sank in a violent storm. Out of 50 men, only he survived, washed ashore near the very lighthouse where he now lived. He remembered crawling across the rocks, cold and broken, when the lighthouse beam pierced through the fog like a hand reaching from heaven. It had guided him home. From that day, Elias vowed to keep the light burning for others, even if no one ever saw it. One evening, as he cleaned the lens, a young boy named Daniel climbed the hill. He had come from the village below, carrying a basket of bread. "My mother says you forget to eat," the boy said. Elias chuckled. "Then your mother is wiser than I am." Daniel looked around the silent lighthouse. "Isn't it lonely here?" "Sometimes," Elias said. "But faith keeps me company." "Faith in what?" Elias pointed to the dark sea. "That my light still matters, even if I can't see who it helps." The boy frowned. "But how do you know?" Elias smiled gently. "I don't. That's why it's called faith." Years passed. Daniel grew into a strong young man, while Elias grew older and slower. Yet every evening, the light still shone across the sea. Then one night, the worst storm in decades struck the coast. The wind howled, rain lashed, and thunder shook the cliffs. In the village below, people huddled in their homes. But high above, Elias struggled up the stairs, clutching his lantern. The great lamp had gone out, the gears jammed, the flame dead. "Not tonight," he muttered, coughing as the wind screamed through the tower. "Not while they might still need me." He tried again and again to relight it, but the storm was too strong. Lightning flashed, and for a moment the old man saw his reflection in the glass-tired, trembling, soaked. Then he whispered, "If I can't light it with fire, I'll light it with faith." He knelt and prayed, not for strength, but for the light to shine again for someone out there lost in the storm. Moments later, the lamp flickered, then blazed to life. The entire tower glowed, cutting through the darkness like a miracle. Elias sank to the floor, smiling as the sound of the sea faded into peace. The next morning, the villagers found the lighthouse still shining, but Elias was gone. Sitting quietly by the lamp, his hand resting on the railing, eyes closed forever. Daniel wept as he helped carry the old man's body down the hill. "He kept the light until the very end," he said. That afternoon, as they lowered Elias to rest by the cliffs, a ship appeared on the horizon. It had been caught in the storm and nearly lost. The captain came ashore and asked, "Whoever lit that lighthouse last night saved us." "We thought we were finished until we saw its beam." Daniel smiled through his tears. "It was Elias," he said softly. He believed someone might still need it. Years later, Daniel became the new lighthouse keeper. Every night, he lit the lamp and whispered, "For you, old man." When people asked him why he kept doing it, he would answer just as Elias once had, because someday, someone might need the light. And when storms came, the lighthouse of that little village still shone bright and steady, a symbol of faith that outlived the man who first believed in it. Moral of the story: faith is not seeing the result, it's believing your actions still matter, even when the world seems dark. True faith is the light that never goes out.